Okay, the final week of Boost Your Startup. Here we go. Thank you for joining me. Um, Recapping from previous weeks, it's all been about getting the foundations right. So I'm going to talk to you about building a network, some top networking tips, customer service, and obviously won't be doing Q&A. But hopefully, if you have any questions, please just drop them into the BIPC team. Okay, so the importance of building a network. It's important to build a network because when you run your own business, not only is it something that you can run online or something you can run from a shop or from a premises or out on the road, it's important to build a network because it helps you as a business owner grow referrals, create new business opportunities, also create business opportunities to pass to other people. And you can't do everything alone. It can be quite lonely too, running a business. But creating that network for when you have a need to pass a piece of business to somebody else that can help your business or help their business or help your clients or your customers, that's the importance of building a network. So how do you do that? One of the ways to do that is networking. And if you're listening to this and you're looking at this picture, that's how a lot of people feel about networking. Networking can make you feel rather scared, nervous. The thought of walking into a room of strangers is not something that's exciting to people, and it can make you feel really, really nervous. And it's the last thing that you want to do. Actually, it can be quite an awkward thing to do, but you have to get used to doing it because it enables you to get to meet other business owners, and it enables you to get to know other businesses that may want to buy your products or your services. And down here in the Southwest, we have a really vibrant networking community. It's a really, really great place to do business. So if you can get into a networking group or go along to some regular networking events, it will help you to grow your business through referrals and through opportunities that you may not have known about. But networking can be a little bit like ice cream. And you might think, why on earth is he talking about ice cream? Well, if like ice cream, you have your own flavor of ice cream that you like. My children have their own kind of ice cream flavors that they like. One daughter likes bubblegum flavor and one likes chocolate or speculoos. And others might enjoy other flavors. Networking is the same. You have to find what suits you. You have to find your flavor of networking. It's really, really important to do that because networking changes for different people. Some people get different experiences from different kind of groups. So you have to kind of go and find your flavor of networking that suits you. And there's lots of really great events out there. On not only what the BIPC run, but lots of other organizations down here in the Southwest have all sorts of really, really great opportunities for business owners to go to. Sometimes they're online. I prefer to go face to face. And there are lots of opportunities to go paid or unpaid to find your community or communities or pockets of people that you like to be around and you feel comfortable mixing with. And that's why I say it's like ice cream. You just got to find your flavor. Some top tips for networking, because it's not easy to go into a room full of people. And I like to liken it to almost like going into a room and feeling like you have to put on a mask. And I don't mean that you become a different person, but psychologically, you may be having a tough day. It might be a difficult time in the business. You've got to walk into a room full of people. And I say it's like putting on a mask because you have to allow yourself to feel upbeat. You have to be positive. You have to be kind. You have to be friendly and you have to be open. So whether you're feeling like it or not, when you walk in that room, if you go in there not allowing yourself to feel all the woes of your day, you will take that into the room with you. And you don't want to take that into the room because you are your business's brand. and people will remember you for that. So it's about going in there and thinking, how can I be positive? How can I be open? How can I be friendly? How can I be warm? How can I engage with my audience? How can I engage with the person in front of me? How can I go and talk to somebody? If you find it really awkward to go networking, and it is really something that you don't like to do, then I would recommend you go with somebody. Try and go with a friend or a colleague or somebody maybe in your business or somebody that you know in the business community or a business friend locally, somebody that's outgoing and friendly. Take them with you. Go as a couple. It's a great way to sort of break the ice and get in to know a few people. Next, I would suggest that you be a really good listener. I think it's about being interested in what the other person has to say and not to always want to talk about us. There's nothing worse than going to a networking event and all the other person wants to do is sell you their product or their service and not really interested in what you do. Use your instincts with two ears and one mouth. I like to say it's the ratio of 2 to 1. Really try to listen to the people that you're talking to the people that you're speaking with, and really, really be interested in them and getting to know what they do and how they do it. And then get their business card, connect with them on social media. If you have LinkedIn, and I recommend you do have LinkedIn, then I would get onto LinkedIn. I would create a really good profile for yourself, have a look at some other people's profiles, and make sure that you connect on there. It's like a professional's network or a business network for other business owners. And it's a really, really great place to connect. So connect with them on socials. Before you leave, say you're on LinkedIn, it'd be really, really good to connect with you. And that way, then you start to grow your network digitally as well as face to face. Use the person's name that you're speaking to. Try to remember their name if you can. I like to use mind mapping to help me to remember people's names. For instance, if I meet somebody called David and I can't remember their name, I will try to think of somebody I know really well called David or somebody famous called David. And I will think, okay, David Beckham. So when I look at that person, and you may be laughing or smiling at me right now, think of David Beckham. You don't have to say that to them, of course, but then that helps you to remember people's names. When somebody remembers your name or you remember somebody's name, it's really powerful. And I think that's a really, really good tip when you're networking, especially if there aren't name badges being worn, which is less frequent these days. Work the room if you can. Try to get around the room. Try to speak to different people in the room so you don't just get stuck talking to one person all evening, because there may be people in the room that you need to meet or you want to meet that are related to your business, can really help your business. And if you're stuck with one person, take them with you. Say, I'm just going to go and meet that person over there. Do you want to come with me? Be friendly, be warm, and be kind, and take them with you. And always, always, always follow up. You could say your follow up's connecting on socials. If you kept someone's business card, make sure you follow up with them. Just send them a message. It was really, really great to meet you. And if it's somebody that has potential to be a business contact to yours for new business in the future, then maybe offer the opportunity to follow up with a cup of coffee sometime. I wouldn't recommend long lunches, but maybe a cup of coffee would be a good place to start. And that's how you start to grow your network. And you might grow your network with people that directly will buy your product or your service. You might network with people that might have clients in the line of work that you are aiming for. So it's about finding that right kind of event. And like I said a moment ago, it's like ice cream. You got to try before you decide what your favorite kind of flavor of event is. Building engagement with our customers and our potential audience and potential future clients or referrals is so, so important. And how do we do that? We think about how we engage with our customer, what benefits our customer, How do we build loyalty with them? How do we build trust with them? And how do we build a relationship with them? And if we think about building relationships, and just going back here to talking about engagement, I want to go into the world of customer service for a moment now and start to talk about, well, how do we build engagement with our customers? And why is building engagement with our customers so important in a world where things are so transactional? And it may be that you have a product or a service that is very, very transactional, and that's okay. But how we treat our customers, how we connect with our customers, how we look after our customers is so important. And customer service, I think these days, is something that so often can get overlooked in a world where we stay removed through web chat and through digital channels, where less is done over the telephone and less is done face to face and more is done behind the screen. You can sometimes forget that there's a person on the other end of that business. So thinking about how you connect with them is really important. And when it comes to giving great customer service, I think it's important sometimes to think about how we put things right if it's gone wrong. So often there are so many examples, and you could probably think of some in today's modern age, where poor customer service is the norm. And here's just a bit of a fun video just to bring an example of bad customer service to life.
Enjoy your flight, Ben. Oh, I'm sorry. We're only boarding rows 9 and above right now. You'll have to wait.
I'm in row 8.
You can step aside, sir.
It's just one row. Don't you think it's okay?
We'll call your row momentarily. Step aside, sir. Thank you for waiting. We'd like to continue boarding the aircraft now. We're now boarding all rows, please. All remaining rows. Hello. Enjoy your flight.
Now, that may stick with some people as something that's a little bit funny and a bit jovial and a bit fun. But I use that to bring to life this example here when it comes to how we treat our customers and people that buy our products or our services. And that is that Maya Angelou, I've learned that people will forget what you said and what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel and how we make our customers feel. And in that regard, a great example of how not to serve a customer is the key. And how do we make our customers feel? How do you make your customers feel on the journey from the minute they make an inquiry through to the minute they buy your product or your service? How do they feel? How do we make them feel? Do we make them feel welcome? Do we make them feel important? Is it a pleasant experience for them? Is it one that will make them come back to us? So every single touch point is so, so important when it comes to customer service, because from an inquiry on our website, we are creating a customer journey. So what's your customer journey like? What does it feel like for your customer? So when they make an inquiry, is that an easy thing to do? Is the process easy through your website? Is the opportunities to connect with you simple? Is it pleasant? Is it easy? Do you make it feel great for the customer? Secondly, what's the navigation like through your website, through your processes, through buying a product or buying a service? We've all had those examples where, especially through people like Amazon, it's very much easy to go on, click the product, click the service, and buy it. and then we make the order. How do we follow that up? Do we make it clear to the customer of when we're going to post it, how we're going to post it? Then do we think about, well, how do we package what we do? And what does the delivery feel like? What does the delivery look like? What does it feel like? And I know examples that I've had and that you would have had too listening to this, where you've ordered something and it arrives and it's really nicely packaged. You open it up and you think, yeah, they've taken the time to package that properly. I feel like the product that I've ordered is really, really great. You might offer a service. So it might be about how you talk to your client, how you deliver it, how you communicate with them in emails, how you communicate with them over the telephone about explaining what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and when you're going to deliver it by. And lastly, how do you follow up? How do you follow up? What was that like for you, Mr. Customer? What did that feel like for you? Do we get in touch with our customers to ask them how that felt for them? And I use the example of bad customer service because if we've had an example of bad customer service, we remember it more than we've had good service. I think it's just human nature. But then you remember how it was put right. If a company sells you a product or a service and it's broken, how they correct that will then make you either want to come back or to never go back again. And it's those companies, those businesses, those customer service touch points that make the customer feel great about the service that will often bring the customers back to you, even if you've got it wrong. So think about every touch point. What does it feel like? How do I make my customer feel? And is the process easy to do business with me? Next, here's an example of going the extra mile, some great customer service. There's a great example of going the extra mile. Now, you may not want to give out your mobile number, of course. Maybe that's a bit too far. But in that instance, going the extra mile makes that customer feel great. We've decided to put it right, to refund them, to make sure it's delivered properly, and to take the heat completely out of the situation. I know it's from a movie, but I just think it's a really, really great example of delighting our customer. So when it comes to top customer service tips, how do we want to make our customers feel? How do we want them to feel at each touch point in the journey with us? How we put it right counts more because we will make mistakes. Life isn't perfect. Our businesses aren't perfect. We're still sometimes learning the journey ourselves. But how we apologize, how we take ownership of that problem, and then how we put it right will say far more about us than all the times that we actually get it right, because there will be times that we mess up. And that's just a fact of life. But how we are kind to our customers, how we give them great service really, really matters. Next, I think it's so important that we ask our customers regularly for feedback. I don't know about you, but I can get a bit feedbacked out by receiving every time I speak to somebody on a web chat these days or a phone call, the minute after the call, you get a little survey come through. And I think when it comes to running a business from the start, from becoming a startup, it's a great opportunity to speak to your customers. How are we doing? Is everything okay? Is this what you want? Is this the service you want? Would there be anything that we could do differently for you? Just making sure that we do that and we get in touch with them on a regular basis is really, really important. Because if you get great feedback, you can build on that great feedback. It's so important. It will breed for us loyalty and reward. So when it comes to loyalty and reward as well, how do we reward our customers? Do we create any opportunities for them to want to come back to us? You think about those businesses now, you think about some of the major supermarkets, they create those loyalty and reward systems. Marks and Spencer's are great at it too. And lots of independent businesses are becoming great at it too. To make you want to come back, how do we do that? How do we create some loyalty and some reward? Do we give rewards to our customers? Do we build that into what we do? Do we build in a referral system maybe? Or do we, once they've bought a certain number of products, give them 10% off their fifth order? I don't know, but it's something to think about how we start to really create some stickiness in our business to make our customers stick to what we do, especially if it's something quite transactional. Never be complacent, ever. It will kill you. It will kill what you do if you just think that your customers are going to stay with you forever and you don't really need to work at it. Remember that at your peril. You have to look after your customers really well and look after them in a way that makes them want to come back and never be complacent. And I'll take you back to feedback, feedback, feedback. And when we get some feedback, and if we don't like it, don't be defensive. Take it as an absolute piece of gold that a customer is taking the time to tell you what hasn't gone right, what doesn't work for them, and what we can do to fix it. There's nothing worse, is there, than when you're complaining about something or something hasn't gone right, that the person on the other end of the telephone or on the desk in front of you starts to get defensive. It makes you just feel awkward. And we have to think about it from our customer's point of view. And then train our staff. Train our staff to have the blueprint of the business that we have, that we want our customers to feel. Make sure if you've got new staff that they feel it too. They understand your culture. They understand what serving a customer to you really means. If you think about Disney and going to one of their parks, the staff are impeccably trained and they will have the Disney way ingrained into them. And we need to think about that for our staff. If we take on anyone new, do we take the time to train them? Do we take the time to explain to them how we do things if we really want to delight our customers? So just recapping on Boost Your Startup from week 1, and that's about falling in love with our customer's problem. If you want to grow the business, fall in love with the problems that your customers have and design your products and services to fix them. Don't just create a solution and expect them to fit into what the solution is. Sometimes you might get lucky, but on the whole, it's about falling in love with our customer's problem, solving it, creating our service and product around it. Developing and cultivating a growth mindset. When you're running your own business from the start, you've got every hat under the sun to wear, and then you may have to take on jobs to do things that you don't really want to do or things that you're not great at, and you need to do them in a way that enables you to grow, to learn, to think, I'm going to have a go at this. Even though I might not understand it, I'm going to learn to get better at it. And the power of yet. If you can remember back to week 1, I'm not able to do this yet. Be really clear on your vision. Map out your plan, your goal, and your vision, and know how that works. Work back with milestones, as we talked about. Map out your business model into a canvas. A business model canvas will help you put your business, your plan, and every key aspect of that business on one clear page. You can even have several business canvases, one for your competition, one for where you want to be and one where you are now, one for new staff, different projects, but map out your business onto a clear canvas. Get your marketing moving. We talked about that in week 3. I think it was a week 4, when we talked about how you get your marketing going, having a plan. What channels are you going to use? Is it going to be Facebook? Is it going to be TikTok? Is it going to be LinkedIn? Is it going to be Instagram? What are you going to do to communicate with your customers and get your brand out there? Where are your customers hanging out? Organize yourself financially. You've got to get that foundation right. Get your bookkeeping system set up. Get your accountant engaged and make sure you're keeping a record of all your invoicing and your receipt keeping, knowing where your cash flow is at all times, how much tax you owe. Those kind of things are going to set you up to win. And finally, think about how you build your network, how you build those contacts, those people that might help you professionally, that might better give you referrals, and you might better help them too. and grow your network and your reputation, and then your service, as we've just freshly talked about. How do you create a great customer experience? These are just some building blocks to help you be really, really successful. And I want to wish you all the very, very best on your journey. And I want to share with you a video called Everybody Dies, but Not Everybody Lives. And I just want to leave you encouraged with this video that whatever journey that you're on, wherever you're headed, wherever you're going, is to think about those skills, those attributes, those qualities that you have that are relatable to you and to your skill set that you bring to your business, and to really go for it. And I hope this encourages you. If you want to get in touch with us at BIPC or me, James Court, just Google me, James Court Boost. You'll find me come up on Google. You can see my website. You can see the BIPC Devon website, and you can connect on LinkedIn, or you can connect on Instagram. And I just leave you with this encouraging video.
It is not death most people are afraid of. It is getting to the end of life only to realize that you never truly lived. There was a study done, a hospital study, on 100 elderly people facing death close to their last breath. They were asked to reflect about their life's biggest regret. Nearly all of them said they regretted not the things they did, but the things they didn't do, the risks they never took, the dreams they didn't pursue. I ask you, will your last words be, if only I had, hey, you, wake up. Why do you exist? Life is not meant to simply work, wait for the weekend, and pay rent. No, I don't know much, but I know this. Every person on this earth has a gift. And I apologize to the Black community, but I can no longer pretend. Martin Luther King, that man never had a dream. That dream had him. See, people don't choose dreams. Dreams choose them. So the question I'm getting to is, do you have the courage to grab the dream that picked you, that befits you and grips you? Or will you let it get away and slip through? You know, I learned a fact about airplanes the other day. Now, this was so surprising. See, I was talking to a pilot, and he told me that many of his passengers think planes are dangerous to fly in. But he said, actually, it is a lot more dangerous for a plane to stay on the ground. I said, what? Like, how does that sound? Well, he said because on the ground, the plane starts to rust, malfunction, and wear much faster than it ever would if it was in the air. As I walked away, I thought, yeah, makes total sense. Because planes were built to live in the skies, and every person was built to live out the dream they have inside. So it is perhaps the saddest loss to live a life on the ground without ever taking off. See, most of us are afraid of the thief that comes in the night to steal all of our things. But there's a thief in your mind who is after your dreams. His name is doubt. If you see him, call the cops and keep him away from the kids, because he is wanted for murder, for he has killed more dreams than failure ever did. He wears many disguises, and like a virus will leave you blinded, divided, and turn you into a kinda. See, kinda is lethal. You know what kinda is. It's a lot of kinda people. You kinda want a career change. You kinda want to get straight A's. You kinda want to get in shape. Simple math, no numbers to crunch. If you kinda want something, then you will kinda get the results you want. What is your dream? What ignites that spark? You can't kinda want that. You gotta want it with every part of your whole heart. Will you struggle? Yeah, you will struggle. No way around it. You will fall many times, but who's counting? Just remember, there's no such thing as a smooth mountain. If you want to make it to the top, then there are sharp ridges that must be stepped over. There will be times you get stressed and things you get depressed over. But let me tell you something. Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school 3 times. 3 times, but he kept going. The television execs fired Oprah, said she wasn't fit for TV, but she kept going. Critics told Beyonce that she couldn't sing. She went through depression, but she kept going. Struggle and criticisms are prerequisites for greatness. That is the law of this universe, and no one escapes it. Because pain is life, but you can choose what type. Either the pain on the road to success or the pain of being haunted with regret. You want my advice? Don't think twice. We have been given a gift that we call life, so don't blow it. You were not defined by your past. Instead, you were born anew in each moment, so own it now. Sometimes you gotta leap and grow your wings on the way down. You better get the shot off before the clock runs out, because ain't no overtime in life, no do-over. And I know I sound like I'm preaching or speaking with force, but if you don't use your gift, then you sell not only yourself, but the whole world short. So what invention do you have buried in your mind? What idea, what cure, what skill do you have inside to bring out to this universe? Uni meaning one, verse meaning song. You have a part to play in this song. So grab that microphone and be brave. Sing your heart out on life stage. You cannot go back and make a brand new beginning, but you can start now and make a brand new ending.
There's your challenge. Go for it. You've got this. Thank you for listening.